You sort of on social media jumped into the middle of the T.I. 50 Cent feud when you said you wanted one of those T-shirts.
No, I saw the shirt and I thought the shirt was dope, and I asked for a 3X, and he told me he got me.
If you've been paying attention to hip-hop conversations lately, then you already know that whenever Rick Ross and 50 Cent get mentioned in the same sentence, things can get interesting real fast. And this time, the moment happened during an interview on TMZ Live, where Rick Ross pulled up to talk about a major celebration connected to one of the biggest moments of his career. But before we get into what Ross said, you already know how interviews go when certain names come up. The hosts quickly shifted the conversation toward 50 Cent, and that's when the tone of the interview changed. Now, Ross was originally there to discuss the upcoming celebration of his classic album, Port of Miami, which helped establish him as one of the biggest figures in hip-hop during the mid-2000s. The energy in the interview was positive at first. Ross talked about the event, inviting everyone who's supposed to be there and saying the night would be about celebrating the music and the legacy. But then the hosts asked the question that people online were already thinking: would 50 Cent be invited? Ross laughed it off and basically said something along the lines of, he wasn't sure if 50 would even feel comfortable in that environment. And if you followed hip-hop over the years, you know exactly why. Because the tension between Rick Ross and 50 Cent is one of the longest-running rivalries in rap history.
Rick Ross, welcome back to TMZ Live. What's going on, Rick?
You already know. We celebrating. I've invited everyone that's supposed to be there. They've been invited. That's what we're here.
Rick, I gotta ask you, I'm guessing 50 Cent is not on the guest list?
I'm sure he wouldn't be comfortable in my.
So, have you heard any more fallout from? We all saw how you sort of on social media jumped into the middle of the T.I. 50 Cent feud when you said you wanted one of those T-shirts.
No, I saw the shirt and I thought the shirt was dope, and I asked for a 3X, and he told me he got me, and then I saw him smoking on the Jack Pack. I asked for some of that too.
So for those who didn't see this, in the middle of that T.I. 50 Cent feud, T.I.'s son posted a T-shirt with a photo of 50 Cent's mother who has passed away, and Rick said, "Oh, let me get one of those."
That was his father.
You what?
I thought it was his uncle or his dad.
No.
Oh, you're stepping into dangerous territory here.
Rick,
we should not.
Am I?
No.
Anyway. Yeah.
No, I thought, no.
Nope.
Look like a linebacker.
So no, that's all died down, right? There's,
until now.
Honestly, from Rose, that was never a feud. The T.I.
You just thought it was just a fun thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to realize, if they may have bumped into each other, somebody may have got dropped on their dome, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the feud, for it to really be a feud, it has to have a few things involved in. To me, it was just T.I. put out some dope music, T.I. two sons put out some dope music, and that's what it was about. Yeah.
All right. And 50 Cent put out, and 50 Cent put out a song too, so everybody's making music.
No, that wasn't music.
Oh.
I told you about musical acumen. There's difference.
Okay. Well, like you said, 50 Cent will not be there, but everyone else should be. Get your tux on, get your gown together. The tour kicks off.
This back and forth has been going on for years, and it has included diss records, interviews, social media posts, and plenty of internet moments that fans still talk about today. But the conversation didn't stop there. The interview also brought up a situation connected to T.I. and the ongoing back and forth that recently sparked online discussions. Apparently, during that situation, a controversial T-shirt appeared online that featured an image connected to 50 Cent's family. When Ross saw the shirt, he jokingly said that he thought the design looked interesting and asked for one. Now, once that comment made its way around social media, you already know what happened next. Hip-hop fans started debating it everywhere. Some people thought Ross was simply trolling. Others felt like the comment crossed a line. And that's exactly the type of moment that keeps hip-hop discussions trending online. During the interview, the hosts even warned Ross that he might be stepping into dangerous territory by talking about the situation. But Ross didn't seem too concerned. He played it off like it wasn't that serious and suggested that the situation between 50 and T.I. was more about competition in music rather than a real feud. Ross explained that from his perspective, the moment was about artists putting out music and responding creatively. According to him, T.I. dropped some strong records. His sons were involved musically and everyone seemed to be contributing to the conversation through music. But then Ross made another comment that caught people's attention. When the host mentioned that 50 Cent had also released a response record, Ross joked that it wasn't really music. And that's the part that instantly started spreading across blogs and social media pages. Because when someone questions the musical quality of a track, especially when it's connected to 50 Cent, fans are going to react. Now, to understand why this moment got so much attention, you have to look at the bigger picture. The rivalry between Rick Ross and 50 Cent didn't start yesterday. This tension dates back more than a decade, when both artists were at the top of the rap game and competing for dominance in the industry. Back then, diss records were flying back and forth, interviews were heating up the situation, and fans were choosing sides. And over time, even though both artists moved into different lanes of business and entertainment, the competitive energy between them never fully disappeared. 50 Cent built an entire second career through television, business ventures, and social media presence. Meanwhile, Rick Ross focused on building his brand through music, entrepreneurship, and larger-than-life lifestyle moments that kept him visible in hip-hop culture. So whenever one of them makes a comment about the other, it doesn't take long for the internet to react. What's also interesting is that Ross didn't frame the situation as a serious feud. Instead, he treated it like playful competition and commentary. But fans online know that with these two artists, even jokes can quickly turn into viral moments. Because both Ross and 50 have built reputations for responding publicly when they feel like someone is taking shots at them. And that's why many people are wondering if 50 Cent will eventually respond to Ross's latest comments. If history tells us anything, it wouldn't be surprising. Especially because 50 Cent has become known for reacting quickly to trending topics and online discussions. At the same time, Ross seems focused on celebrating the anniversary of Port of Miami, which is a major milestone in his career. That album helped introduce his signature sound and launched him into mainstream success. And for Ross, this celebration appears to be about honoring that legacy and reminding fans how influential that project was. Still, hip-hop fans know that competition has always been part of the culture, and when strong personalities collide, conversations like this are bound to happen. The question now is simple. Will this moment remain just an interview comment, or could it spark another round of back and forth between two of rap's most outspoken figures? Because if there's one thing hip-hop fans have learned over the years, when Rick Ross and 50 Cent are involved in the same conversation, the story rarely ends with just one headline. When clips from the interview began circulating online, the reaction across blogs, YouTube channels, and social media pages was immediate. Platforms that regularly cover hip-hop news quickly reposted the segment, and fans began debating the meaning behind Rick Ross's comments. Some viewers interpreted Ross's tone as light-hearted trolling, while others believed he intentionally reignited an old rivalry that has existed between him and 50 Cent for years. Many hip-hop commentators pointed out that this moment highlights how interviews can quickly become viral events. In the current digital era, a single line from an interview can be clipped, reposted, and discussed by thousands of people within minutes. That is exactly what happened here. The original context of the interview was a celebration of Ross's album anniversary. Yet the conversation shifted almost immediately once 50 Cent's name entered the discussion. Media outlets also noted that Ross did not appear angry or aggressive during the interview. Instead, his responses carried a tone that many interpreted as playful confidence. However, in hip-hop culture, playful comments can sometimes carry deeper meanings because artists are often aware that their words will be analyzed and interpreted by fans. Another key aspect that media commentators highlighted is the long-standing history between Rick Ross and 50 Cent. Their rivalry is not something that started recently. It goes back to a time when both artists were dominating headlines in the late 2000s and early 2010s. During that period, the two exchanged diss tracks, public statements, and social media commentary that kept fans engaged in the rivalry. Because of that history, any interaction involving the two artists naturally attracts attention. Even if the comment is brief or delivered in a joking manner, audiences immediately connect it to their past conflicts. Some analysts also pointed out that controversy has always played a role in the marketing side of hip-hop culture. Historically, rivalries have helped drive attention toward music releases and interviews. When artists compete publicly, it often sparks curiosity among fans who want to see how the story unfolds. However, there is also another perspective being discussed by media commentators. Some believe that moments like this reflect the evolving nature of hip-hop personalities in the digital age. Artists today are not just musicians, they are also brands, entertainers, and social media figures. That means every public statement has the potential to become part of a larger narrative. In Ross's case, many observers think his main focus remains on celebrating his music and maintaining his public persona as a confident and charismatic figure in hip-hop culture. Meanwhile, 50 Cent has built a reputation for being highly active online and responding to situations with humor, sarcasm, or commentary. Because of these contrasting styles, any exchange between them naturally generates interest. Another point analysts discussed is how younger audiences are discovering these rivalries through clips and commentary rather than through the original music era in which they began. Many newer fans may not have experienced the early stages of the Ross 50 rivalry, but they become interested once they see current clips trending online. This dynamic keeps older rivalries alive in the modern media landscape. Even years later, conversations between the same figures can resurface and attract new viewers who are curious about the history behind them. At the same time, some commentators believe that both artists have matured significantly since the early days of their rivalry. They have expanded into business ventures, entertainment projects, and other industries beyond music. Because of that growth, many people see their interactions today as less intense and more reflective of competitive banter rather than serious conflict. From an analytical standpoint, the situation also demonstrates how hip-hop culture balances respect, competition, and humor. Fans often debate where the line should be drawn between playful jokes and comments that might feel disrespectful. These discussions reveal how invested audiences are in the personalities and stories surrounding their favorite artists. Ultimately, the biggest takeaway from this moment is the power of media amplification. A short exchange during an interview turned into a widespread conversation across the internet. That transformation illustrates how quickly narratives can develop once fans, bloggers, and commentators begin sharing their interpretations. Whether Rick Ross intended to spark debate or simply answered a question honestly, the result was the same. The interview became a talking point across hip-hop media spaces, and as long as figures like Rick Ross and 50 Cent continue to remain visible in the culture, moments like this will likely continue to generate discussions among fans who enjoy analyzing every word, every reaction, and every headline connected to their favorite artists. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to Taspect Term West TV, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next hip-hop story we cover. Also, drop a comment below and let me know what you think about this situation, because the hip-hop community always has something to say. And remember, we'll be back with more updates, more reactions, and more hip-hop conversations right here on Taspect Term West TV.